All right, well, I guess this is it. This is the beginning of me officially starting to vlog. This is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I watch a lot of content creators that kind of journey their life, what they do in business, their processes and everything like that. This is something I've always wanted to get into myself as well. I always posted kind of stories on my Instagram, like mindset, business, entrepreneurship tips and all that type of stuff. So I've always wanted to do this YouTube channel and officially get onto that platform. 2025, this is the year of no hesitation, no fear, no talk, and just straight action. That's me. Introduce myself, my name's Matthew. I'm a 28-year-old entrepreneur from Melbourne, Australia. I run a website design and marketing agency at the moment. I'm doing about 6 figures. I have a team of 7 at the moment. So pretty much my team work in the business doing all the client work and all the operations while I simply work on the business, scaling, networking, bringing it to the next step. So that's kind of my position, but that did not come easy. I know a lot of you out there as well probably want to do something like this. So this is kind of the first action step for 2025 of the first of many. And me just documenting my journey, showing what I'm doing with my business, managing a team, recruiting, doing all that type of stuff. And I'll be showing all the behind the scenes, what I do day to day, you know, the boring stuff, the good stuff, just showing what I do as an entrepreneur, living by himself, running his own business, and not really having a circle of successful people around me. I've always kind of been the only successful person around me, so everything that I've gotten to at this point was simply from watching content, watching podcasts, reading books, doing all that type of stuff. 1% better every single day, you know? I've never had people motivating me or anything like that. My mentors were the people that I watch on content, on podcasts and everything like that. So I know a lot of you guys can relate. This is me just officially putting myself out there and helping you guys throughout your journey. I'm 28 years old. I didn't grow up with much. Like, I grew up in a very ghetto town, one of the ghettoest towns in Melbourne, honestly, and didn't grow up with shit. All my friends were drug addicts, criminals, thieves. I had people come to my house after they held up a petrol station down the road. Like that was where I was before. I moved out of home when I was 17 years old, simply to get away from all the bullshit and all the stuff that I knew was going to keep me down and keep me in that circle of just, you know, dangerous path, illegal path, whatever it is. Most of my people that I knew before were pretty much in jail at this point. So officially kind of decided to move out when I was 17 years old and do my own thing. So I moved into the city with one of my friends in a studio apartment in the city. I was paying $100 a week to sleep on the floor with a mattress and a bedside table in like a box of a studio apartment. Like, this thing was fucking tiny. It's probably the size of my living room right now as the whole apartment. And it was what I needed to get away from that scene, those surroundings, right? So sometimes you just need to take the step of actually leaving the nest, leaving your little comfort kind of zone, even though that was in a bad setting. It was somewhere that, even though I was with the people that were doing bad things, it was either I was with them or I was getting bashed by them day by day. So that's how it is when you grow up in a ghetto town. I chose the wrong side, but at the same time, I was safe. I didn't have to always look behind my back and everything, as most people did in the town I grew up in, which is Frankston. I'm sure you guys know it. It was tough times. So I moved out when I was 17, moved in with my friend in the city that lived at a uni lodge. And I lived there for 1.5 years, and the people there kind of just helped me get smarter, get better with how I talk, get better with how I conversate, and just be around people, be around normal, smart, like intelligent people was the difference, because I wasn't used to being around those types of people. That was the issue where I grew up. Everyone was just a fucking dumbass. So it wasn't easy to be a smart person and have good vocabulary, and all those type of things were effective when you grow up in places like that. And when I lived at that uni lodge for like 1.5 years, these people just helped me kind of talk properly, get a job, do all that type of stuff. And honestly, I probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them actually helping me through that journey. And it was the best thing that could have happened for me. And I had a job. I worked so many jobs, man, like way too many jobs. I probably did housekeeping, hospitality, retail. I worked so many different jobs just to get some money to pay rent, to do all those type of adult things, you know, responsibilities and everything like that. That's the difference when you move out of home, is you have responsibilities that you don't have when you live at home. So now you gotta pay rent, you gotta pay bills, you gotta get your own groceries, you gotta learn how to cook, you gotta do all these things that you're not used to doing. But that's what makes you a man. You know, I tell it to all my homies and all my people, my following now on Instagram and everything. Pretty much all the stuff that I kind of post on there is basically around mindset and motivation and business tips and entrepreneur tips and all that type of stuff. You can't level up until you actually leave the nest that you grew up in. Leave the environment, leave the people, not leave them, but just like get away from those same surroundings that you grew up in, because those were surroundings where maybe you weren't in the best times of your life, right? Maybe you were going through shit, maybe you had a failing business, maybe you are sick of being around the same people over and over again. Maybe you're around wrong people, right? You're not around the right people with the right settings. And it's super important to leave that nest and get out of where you grew up, because that's where you truly start to level up, especially learning how to talk to strangers, meet new people, not have to rely on your family, on your previous friends, like all that type of stuff. You need those responsibilities and that scarcity to really grow up and really mature into a proper adult and to level up in all aspects, health, wealth, fitness, like all that type of stuff. That's what I do. And that's what I've been through. Probably like 7 years freelance. I used to do graphic design, website development, marketing, did all that stuff myself. And it kind of got to the point where I had that much work that I was burnt out. I couldn't really have time with friends, family, traveling, doing any of that type of stuff. I was working, 5 a.m. nights, like people that freelance, you guys know how it is. 5 a.m. nights, no time for myself, no time for my family, no time for friends, no time for anything really besides work. What that showed me was it's not only just about the money. Like, don't get me wrong, I was making good money back then as well, but I had no time to spend my money. I wasn't able to do anything, right? You just get burnt out, and I knew that something needed to change for the lifestyle that I wanted. Pretty much at that point, I knew that if I really wanted to get to the next step, then it's bigger than me. I need to stop being selfish, and I need to start building up a team so I can have my time back. So what I've realized is that you're building up a team so you can simply pay for your time back, so you can focus on the more important things for the business. That's the main thing, right? There's a channel that I watch called The Future, and he basically had a video where he talked about writing a list down on the left that has all the things that you do day to day for, say, client work, right? You're a freelancer, you do graphic design, you do whatever. Write down a whole list of every single thing you do in that day. So say you spend 8 hours a day on client work, write down everything that you do in that 8 hours for your client. And then on the right side, have another list and write down everything that you could be doing for the actual business itself to scale it in that 8 hours that you were spending on the client work. So you look at those two lists, you see what you were doing for the client, you see what you could have been doing for the business if you weren't doing the client work. And you just realize how much you could be doing for the business to actually scale it, where in your mind you think that doing more work for the clients, doing all that stuff is actually scaling the business, but it's not. It's just making you more money, yeah, but you have no time. You're basically wasting the money that you're making is for the time that you're spending, right? That's the difference. Is when you're working for labor, you don't have time, right? You're making money, but you have no time to spend the money. You have no time to do anything. You're just making money for the sake of making money. But when you looked at that right list, and it had all the stuff that you could be doing for the business, that's scaling the business, recruiting, outreaching, networking, marketing for the business, right? Instead of spending 8 hours on client work, you spend 8 hours on doing work for your business, right? That's where everything changed for me. So pretty much got to the point where I knew that if I wanted to get to the next step, I had to just step away, right? And start building up a team. It was not easy. I went through interviewing 100 people, got that down to 50 people that actually qualified. From 50 people, 25 people that I actually fucked with, like had a nice vibe, we had good conversations and everything. And then from 25 people, I hired 15 people. And out of those 15 people, I found my 7 killers that I have today. So it's all in the numbers. You find the quality in the numbers. It sucks, but that's the reality. You need to go through the numbers to find the quality. And the reason why out of those 15 people, I only stuck with 7 was because the remaining people kept fucking up, being late on deadlines, not executing as I needed it to, just wasn't exactly where I needed them to be. So the work that they fucked up on, I always ended up giving it to those other 7 that were never fucking up. That was the difference, right? But you never go through that period unless you go through the numbers. So this is what I tell people. Yeah, it's not fucking easy building up a team, but it's what you need to do as a business owner, because you're basically paying for your time. So your team works in the business doing the client work, while every single minute of your time is spent on the business, scaling it, bringing in new clients, bringing in more revenue, bringing in more exposure, traffic, all that stuff on the business itself. So you're not working in the business, you're working on the business to scale it. That's how you truly scale your business, is once you work on the business specifically, right? You can't scale if you're only doing client work. There's no way to scale, because you'll just get overworked, you get burnt out, and chances are you probably fail. That's why you need to just work on the business. So once I realized that, I built up a team. And yeah, it wasn't easy. It took time to definitely train them to where I needed them to be, to basically duplicate myself in my team. So everything that I see, my team also sees, and it took time to get them to that point. But the fact is, it's worth it, because I'm paying my team to have my time back. That way I can work on the most important things for the business to scale it to the point that I want to scale it to, right? So that's what I realized, is sharing the wealth around. Don't be selfish, share your money around. It will come back to you tenfold. I promise you that. As soon as you're not scared about money and you're not selfish with your money, that shit comes back tenfold. So that's what I realized, was building up a team was basically having your time back. So I'm sitting here filming this video, my team's working. I'm able to travel, I'm able to do whatever it is. So I work completely remote. So all I need is my laptop right here and an internet connection, and I can work from anywhere I want to work. There's nothing keeping me here, nothing keeping me anywhere. I can go to Japan right now, run my business the same way. There's nothing stopping me. That's the beauty about a remote-based business, right? And same with the team as well. Everything's remote, so I can be out there living my life, doing everything while my team's working. But I'm paying my team handsomely to be able to do that, to be able to have that lifestyle, and to be able to simply just work on the business to scale it to the points that I want to scale it to, which is eventually selling the business. And yeah, that's how things really started to skyrocket for me, was once I took that step of it's bigger than me, it's a team effort, and if you really want to get to the next step, you need a team. If you're a business owner, you're a freelancer, or it just depends on your values. Like if you want a lifestyle where you're traveling the world like I do, I want to be traveling the world full time, working abroad with my laptop, in fucking Dubai, in Japan, in freaking Tokyo, in freaking New York. Like I want to be traveling, doing everything. That's the whole point. And all I need is just my laptop and an internet connection, right? But if I want to have that lifestyle is not incongruent with doing client work, right? How am I meant to have that lifestyle when I need to turn around 20 projects to a client? That's the difference. So you need to gauge what lifestyle you want, and then judging from the lifestyle that you want, you need to make the steps in your business to cater for that lifestyle. That's what I realized, is if you want that type of lifestyle that I want, you want that same thing, then you can't be doing client work, man. Like you need to be working on the business to scale it. You need to build up a team to do the client work, so you simply work on the business itself, scaling it, recruiting, networking, doing all that stuff to bring more eyes to the business. That brings in more work for you, right? But you're not the one doing the work, your team is doing the work. So no matter what, you're basically just paying your team to have your time back, so you just work on the most important things for the business. That's something that I realized, and once I realized that, that's where everything changed for me. So that's just a little bit of my introduction. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna keep this pretty easy, pretty simple, not really crazy editing or anything like that. It's all gonna just be genuine, authentic. Maybe in the future I'll get like a video editor and stuff like that. We'll do some cool shit, but right now this is what we're sticking with. I don't want it to be too edited or anything like that. I just want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys, show you what I do. on my day-to-day as a business owner, my routines, I wake up at 4:50 in the morning, positive affirmations, hitting the gym, journaling, writing my to-do list, going to the sauna, steam room, watching podcasts, like all that type of stuff. I have a crazy morning routine. I love it. It gets me fucking fired up. Not many people can kind of stick to that type of stuff, but I'm very disciplined with myself. I just want to show the behind the scenes of my journey, have my journey documented as well. So it's something that I can also look back on, but also something that I can help you guys along your journey into entrepreneurship. If you're wanting to start a business, or if you have a business right now wanting to build up a team, all that stuff, I'll be showing the behind the scenes of pretty much everything that I do, just day to day, and just having it filmed. I'm here to help you guys. You know, that's my main goal for 2025, is just to share and help and share value to other people in the same space, and to connect with other like-minded people as well. That's the main thing, is your network is your net worth. I've understood that as well. I've never had really a network, so I'm excited to see where we kind of take this channel. Damn, I gotta get used to this vlogging thing, man. Like, subscribe, comment if you guys want to see anything. I actually live in the CBD, so if there's any other Melbourne entrepreneurs out there, hit me up, man. I'll put my Instagram in the description. Always happy to connect with other professionals and other like-minded people. So anything you guys want to see, drop a comment. I'll be reading all the comments and everything like that. Besides that, I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.